What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this video is about who's Councilman Tate and what's he want with ghosts. Now, remember to subscribe to my channel. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you get notified of all my new videos. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and let's get into it. Now, Councilman Tate, he is also Lorenz Tate, as we all know. He made his debut in season 4 of Power. Now, what we're going to see is what is he really up to. Okay, he's a real shady character, and he's a lot like Ghost, actually, and I'm gonna break it down and how and why. Now, one thing about him is he first came out like a smooth brother, but what he actually is a wolf in sheep's clothing. He first came up and met Ghost when Ghost was celebrating at a party at his club after he was reinventing his image after getting out of jail. Then he came with the, oh, hey, what's up, my brother? You fought the law and you won. Good job. Here, let me pat you on the back. Everything is everything. And he was making Ghost feel good. And Ghost was happy to see another young brother doing well. And I can understand Ghost is new to this scene, though. Ghost has never dealt with politics. Now, he's used to being the slickest person in the group, but he can't play slick to a can of oil. Now, what we gonna learn is Ghost, although he is smart, he's actually getting outsmarted because he's never dealt with somebody that's just as smooth as he is. He's usually dealing with people that's not as quick as he is. And what actually happened is Simon Stern tried to give him the warning like Pop from the barbershop. Okay, he tried to let him know, hey, don't mess with this dude. He's a little on the shady side and a little Afrocentric, but you know, he's a straight white guy with money. He doesn't know how to put things sometimes, so he didn't know how to put it, and Ghost took offense to it instead of kind of listening. But in the end, why would Ghost really have so much hatred towards Simon Stern? Because in the end, Simon Stern didn't really do anything to Ghost. If you really look at it, all he is a shrewd businessman. Period. That's it. He's a shrewd businessman. And Ghost was entering his world of business. Ghost opened up one single club. This man has clubs all over the U.S. He has yachts, mansions. He's been doing this for a while. He's probably twice Ghost's age, damn near, well, 1.5 times in his 60s. So he's a smooth operator. He wanted something that Ghost has, which is his knowledge on how he was successful at the clubs. He was a little jealous and he lost that business. And so what did he do? He invited Ghost to his place to wine him, dine him, and try to get information, because what he does is he operates in the business world, and in the business world there's something called leverage, and he had no leverage on Ghost. And so what did he do? He tried to get leverage on Ghost by getting him to work for him, but Ghost didn't want to work for him. Then he offered to buy the club. Ghost didn't want to sell the club, so Ghost in his mind was being hard-headed. So when Ghost actually got into a jam, he saw the opportunity to buy the building and gain leverage on Ghost. Ghost did the same thing with Councilman Tate, his attempt to get some type of leverage by whining and dining with Councilman Tate. The only difference is, in this world, Ghost is an amateur. Normally, he's at the top of the food chain whenever he's dealing with people, and he's smarter than the average bear. But he messed up by inviting Councilman Tate into his home. You don't know this man, okay? And Ghost walks around with no security. The only security he got at his home is that brother in the lobby with an S-curl. What the hell is he gonna do? Make him slip and slide when they're on their way up to go and take him out? He can't do a damn thing. So he invited him into his home. He's met his son, his family. He knows everything about Ghost. Ghost doesn't know where this man lives. Ghost doesn't know where he operates. Ghost knows nothing about this man. So Ghost is at a disadvantage from Jump Street. Now, Ghost has had a few weak points, from getting out of jail to losing his daughter. Now, he's in this fake-ass wannabe Joel Osteen church, and he's trying to get himself together when all of a sudden TD Fakes walks up to him and then starts trying to call him son. He tries to son him. Okay, and he tells him, hey, we don't allow those devices in the church. Ain't nobody in here. Who the hell are you talking to? I'm in here in an empty church by myself. What are you talking about don't allow in this church? Ain't nobody even in here. But nonetheless, he pulled that card on him, which is a position of power, letting you know, hey, this is my spot. I run this. You know, this drive this car, not you. And so this is what he was letting him know. And he got up and he tried to gain his position back by saying James will do. And he said, oh, okay. But Pastor Cavassier, he wasn't trying to hear it. And he was trying to let him know, I'm Mr. Randy Watson. And so he wanted to let him know, hey, we can put on a show. And for a small contribution for the building fund. And so he let him know, hey, we can put on a show. We can make a home going for your daughter. We can have all of this cars and limos and the news and stuff. And so he was exploiting Ghost's tragedy. And Ghost wasn't really trying to hear that, but he's not in a position of power. He has no leverage in this situation. And so he's looking at Councilman Tate like, man, what the hell you got me into this time? But he couldn't say anything because he needs Councilman Tate. And so he's sitting there looking stupid. And he's been found in that situation a lot when he's been dealing with Councilman Tate recently. And so Mr. Randy Watson is trying to tell him how it's going to go down and what he's going to do for Ghost, and how he needs to make that cut that Chizak for him, and how they're going to make sure that all the publicity comes, because he's trying to tell him it's going to come one way or another, which may not exactly be true. I mean, it's a little girl's funeral. It's not like the news would be there if he had a small funeral. But if he goes out with this big funeral and all of this stuff, then it would bring way more attention that is needed to Ghost. So he is trying to shut him down nicely and try to let him know that he's not exactly ready to make that type of decision yet. But in the end, he really can't say too much because he needs these people. He still doesn't have his money right because he just got out and he really hasn't made any money, really. He's not in the dope game no more, really. The only money he really has is the money he got from Simon Stern, the one that tried to give him the warning like Biggie. And so that's the man he's ignoring. What he should have did is listen to Simon Stern, finish the deal with Stern, and then if you want to do something with Tate, Councilman Tate, Rashad Tate, then he could have did that at a later date. He would have learned more about this. He doesn't know anything about real estate development. So what in the world does he think he can do all of a sudden on his own, jumping out and branching out on projects? It doesn't make any sense. But his ego is getting in the way. And the ego is what's messing him up. And so Pastor Cavassier is trying to explain to him how it's going to go down. And he's trying to fight back a little as he can. Councilman Tate kind of gave him the little stare down, and he gave him a little look back like, all right, look, man, it's only so much I can take right now. I'm in a weak position. You're trying to exploit me. But in the end, he hit him with a coke and a smile and told him to shut the F up, pretty much. Because Ghost really needs these people in the sense he doesn't have any connections right now. And his capital is low. He don't have the capital connections. And so after he kind of pretty much laid out how it's going to go, he's ready to walk it on off. And TD Fakes is thinking that he has the way he has it in his pocket. And Ghost, he's sitting there and he's talking to them and he's letting them know that he preferred not to do this and that. But in the end, he doesn't have any options. Unfortunately, we're going to probably have to wait till next season to see how this plays out. I know they can't just start off next season and skip what happens with Raina and the funeral. So, more than likely, Ghost will have the funeral with these guys. Now, as TD Fakes walks off, he walks off with a little strut with his booty on his back, like he done did something, like he done laid the foundation just because his booty on his back. That don't mean nothing. Now, Councilman Tate comes to finish the deal. He's like the closer in a sale. And so he comes and he tells him, even though Ghost says, man, what are you doing? Got this charlatan over here trying to talk to me and make this a spectacle. I'm not trying to do that. And, you know, I know we're in the church, but I don't give a F. And Councilman Tate comes right back with the rebuttal. And he tells him, look, I know you may not today, but you will tomorrow and the day after. And so this is how it's going to go down. You're going to let the police handle who killed your daughter. You're going to have the funeral here. And you're going to let this Pastor Cavassier have the funeral and provide the procession for her. And Ghost kind of put his head down like he got sunned by him. And then he, just to make sure that Ghost was listening and it sunk in, he said, am I clear? Okay, am I clear, Smokey? And so he wanted to make sure that he got the point that he was poking him with, because this right here ain't no game. This right here. And so Ghost, like I say, he has no leverage. He's not in a position of power. So all he can really do is give him a little look and say, yeah, which is pretty sad, because we aren't used to seeing Ghost in this situation. We're normally used to seeing him with the upper hand. We're normally used to seeing him outsmart somebody. But the one thing that I will give Ghost credit for is he's always, even like when Tommy was getting sunned by Milan, Ghost was doing the following and checking up, or when he would notice things, you can tell he would have that look, as in he's filing it away in his mental Rolodex to come back to it. And so right now, this whole little thing that went down, he's filing it in his mental Rolodex right now, to be continued, pretty much. He's like a lawyer building the case to figure out how everything is going down so he can take him out. And so this is how I think Councilman Tate is dirty. When they was in the hood and they were being interviewed by the reporter, Olivia, he was walking, he was talking a good game, and the one thing that he always did is had his eye on the side over there in the hood. He was talking and saying the right things, but at the same time, he always kept looking to the side and everything. So what it is we've seen a guy dress nice, but still have his foot in the hood. That's not something that's new on this show. Okay? And so he said all the right things, did all the right things, but the first thing he did was go and talk to the one brother in the hood that's holding everything down. Okay, he's holding it up, and he wants to talk to him, and it makes it look like he's a mentor or whatever the case, because he's suited and booted. But the reality is, all he really is the exact same thing Ghost was when he was in the hood talking with Dre. Suited and booted, talking to a brother that's wearing jeans and a jacket in the hood. Exact same thing, no difference. And so hopefully Ghost was filing that in the mental Rolodex, because it's the exact same playbook. Okay, this ain't no Bill Belichick. This right here is obvious. It's plain as day. He's pretty much one of them. He's in the hood. He's hanging with them. How you know somebody like him? How do you get to hang with a dude that's posted up like a stop sign on the corner? You know, how do you get to be dealing with somebody like that unless you all have some type of mutual connections? And I'll see how it evolves and proves out to be true. And while he was talking with Olivia, he had one eye on him, watching him. And he was filing it in his mental Rolodex. Hey, this dude, yeah, he's shady as an oak tree right now, so I got to keep an eye on him, because in the end, it's going to come back to bite Ghost. Ghost doesn't know anything about him. He's slowly learning, but he's had so much adversity coming his way this season that he hasn't had a chance to really stop and see what's going on. When Simon Stern was talking to him in the office, that he was telling him about the business deal, Ghost was getting upset when he was telling him, well, you're going to be the most loved black in the city. Well, he don't know how to talk to black folks. He's probably like Donald Trump. What'd he say? I got a black, I got a Mexican, I got a as a friend. Well, he don't know what to say. He think he was being cool, and Ghost took it to offense, which I can understand why. But you have to understand who you're dealing with, and he was just trying to let him know his position is changing and that he won't be looked down upon anymore, pretty much. And then he was telling him, don't mess with Councilman Tate. And he was pretty much trying to let him know about the business deal. And Ghost was upset about how it was looking on paper that he won't get any money. But he's already loaned you a nice amount of money that he didn't have to. So in reality, all you're doing is doing this deal to pay back your loan. Okay, so he's acting like he should be getting more money. What the hell does Ghost know about this real estate deal? He has zero connections. He doesn't know anything about the real estate game. Why should he deserve a bigger cut? Because you're black and that's the only thing that you had going for you? I mean, in reality, Simon Stern was right. Ghost has zero experience. If it wasn't for him knowing Simon Stern, he wouldn't even be in this opportunity. So he really didn't deserve more of a cut. This is his first venture into the real estate game and real estate development. He has no connections. He has no capital to build anything with. And he had no leverage. Simon Stern had the leverage, and Ghost is not used to being out leveraged, so he's upset. So what does he do? He puts his foot in his mouth, being greedy pretty much, by dealing with a man he doesn't know. And so he gets in bed with Councilman Tate while they getting tipsy in the club, and he gives him the contract and let him know, hey, and he says it like he didn't know, like he's just a boo-boo the fool. It says right here that I'm supposed to be this percentage of the owner in this agreement, but I'm getting this percentage of money, so something ain't right. Follow me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know the agreement is more important than my compensation, which, yeah, right. Of course he wants the compensation. But he says, no, don't worry about it. I'll see what I can do for you. And he tried to play it off like he didn't want to do anything, didn't want his help, but he was quick to jump on it and get the help. Why? Because he saw a way to out leverage Ghost, to put Ghost in his pocket. Now, he messed up because now Ghost has no leverage on two people now. And so in that meeting with Simon Stern, he tried to act like he was surprised just as much as Simon Stern when Councilman Tate brought it up in front of everybody that the compensation was off. And Simon Stern played it off as if it was a clerical error or whatever the case may be. But nonetheless, Councilman Tate, he did his job. Okay, Rashad Tate did his job and made sure that Ghost, on paper at least, will get fair compensation. But like I said, that's just on paper. So it was really an exercise of futility, because when Ghost was at the party with for Injustice of the Year, Stern said, let me go and sign this check that's really insignificant because it's just on paper. I'm not going to give you the money. So what was the point of Ghost getting in bed with Councilman Tate when he can't really come out and say he needed this money, he needed a loan, and in repayment of the loan he got in there with Simon Stern? That just makes him look all bad again. And then Simon Stern said, you need to know who to trust. Why do you think Cantos didn't testify against you? Which was weird. Why would he bring that up? I mean, Cantos could have testified against him, but he brought that Cantos up out his booty. Now, why he bring him out his booty unless he knew something that Ghost didn't know? See, Ghost could have learned a lot from Stern instead of trying to be an adversary of Stern. He wanted to be his friend in the beginning, looking at him in the books and admiring him, but then he began to hate Stern as if Stern did him so wrong, when all Stern wanted to do was have him work for him, offer him $3 million for the club, and pay him as an executive. I mean, he could have done wonders with that. But instead, he was upset. He decided to be his adversary, and it's turning out to bite him. And he actually did Stern worse because he's the one that took Stern's clubs from him, which is what made Stern want to buy the building from up under him when he had the chance, and made him go tit for tat. Now, Councilman Tate, happy, walking up over there looking like Bucky Larson, comes and lets him know, hey, my brother, good job, and now it's time for you to reciprocate, meaning it's time for your ass to pay me back, and this is our Fonz, aka the Fonz, and we got to make sure that he stays whole. Pretty much, he used Ghost to get that deal, to get rid of the Toros Locos, which is probably his dope spot over there. He wanted it clean because they were competing with him, and now he has the Fonz there, and pretty much he's cleaned up Fonz just like Ghost cleaned up Dre. Exact same thing. He's playing the same playbook as Ghost. Then now Ghost is starting to see, damn, what is this guy up to? What are you doing, man? I thought everything was cool, this and that, but Ghost don't know how to play the crooked politics game. He know how to play the crooked dope game, but he don't know how to play the crooked dope politics game. He's learning now on the fly. They may be playing the same playbook, but they in two different leagues. And so he's letting them know, hey, you understand? So he's sunning him again. He might be small, but his nuts are big. Okay, and so he walks away after telling the Ghost that, as if his Johnson was dragging on the floor, and he can just pick it up and swing it over his shoulder because he got it like that. And Ghost, all he doing once again is looking stupid. He's been getting routinely sunned by Mighty Mouse Tate. So now, this is another key. This is the bombshell right here. This is where it gets deeper than the cootie of a chick 6 feet. This is how I think this is a big possibility that Dre and Councilman Tate are working together. And, you know, Dre has no loyalty to anybody. You know, he'll fuck over anybody. You know, he'll fuck the crack of dawn if it comes down to it, pardon my French. So what it is he hops out the car with all smiles, and he's ready to be a part of this deal. But he didn't tell Ghost a dang on thing. And how is Councilman Tate calling him up and working out an arrangement to come and be a part of this deal and walk with them? So he didn't tell Ghost, and somehow these two was friends and calling and talking to each other. Dre and Councilman Tate may be working together somehow, some way, whether it's a new business relationship or whether they've known each other previously in the hood. Somehow, some way, they're looking to take over everything that Ghost may have built. Dre trying to take over his club business, working with Karen Bassett, and Councilman Tate possibly ready to take over in the drug game as well as Dre, which leaves Ghost looking like the odd man out. And he's sitting here looking, filing it in that mental Rolodex like, damn, what the hell are these dudes up to? And Councilman Tate, he's in the hood. He knows every damn body. Shaking up with Frodus, and he's giving him a dap. He's waving at Grandma Cletus across the street and telling everybody hi. And so how does he know all these people in this neighborhood if he's not from there? And I'm not talking about the nerd that just came home with a latchkey around his neck. He was actually doing dirt down there, and he just actually was able to do his homework or something and able to move up like Ghost. Same playbook, different leagues. Then so what have they realized is while they were talking and he was giving out the info, this is where he was playing Ghost by getting him to get rid of the Toros Locos, like I said earlier. And so he got Ghost to do the dirty work for him. And this is his hood. He's shaking hands with everybody. He's waving at everybody. We've already shown that he knows the Fonz. So, and this ain't a happy day. And so what it is he's using Ghost and playing him like a guitar. And Ghost has no idea what's going on. He's just following along, eager to make this deal go through, that he doesn't know what he's doing. And so he let Ghost know what was going on, and Ghost fell for it. Now here is how Ghost is gotten played by Councilman Tate. Councilman Tate laid this game on Ghost thicker than mayo. Now, Ghost, first of all, he thought he was using Councilman Tate when he asked him to help him get more money from Stern. But all he did was a deal with the devil. Okay, and they always make that deal look sweet as if you the smart one, when in the end he was the dummy, because he was more than ready and more than eager to do that deal just to get him in his pocket so that he can get rid of the Toros Locos. Okay, he had him already working on getting rid of the Toros Locos, and that was clearing out space for him and his crew to serve in that area. So now they got the dope spot. So now, thanks to Ghost, they making money. Now Ghost messed up because he done invited him into his home. You know you can't invite a vampire into your home. We know the rules. And Ghost, like a dummy, has invited him into his home. And so now he knows his son with them big booty lips, and he knows where he lives, or he knows all he got is a nigga with an ass curl guard in the front door, which ain't nothing. And so now he's got Ghost should have had a trap house or something, another house, something. You don't have one house that make you too easy to get. He has Dre on his side now. He's been working with Dre behind Ghost's back, and it's proven that Ghost is slipping because they were able to pull that off, and he was able to pop up on Ghost, and Ghost had no idea what was coming. Okay, and then he was able to get Pastor Cavassier to get Ghost to pretty much paid him to have the service there and use him for publicity, as a publicity stunt. So they're exploiting Ghost for publicity stunt, and they're going to make him pay, so they're getting money out of him. And then they're going to make Ghost provide protection for the Fonz, and then it will be a happy day because he won't be hurt. They will keep making money, and Ghost will just be looking stupid. Ghost has no idea what just hit him. And as we see, Councilman Tate has been working with the Fonz for years, is what it looks like. It came up, shook up, they were happy to see each other, and it was nothing but the same playbook, different leagues. And are we going to see that he maybe is trying to do good and be smooth and just trying to halfway do right, but he talked to Ghost like that because he a crooked politician, but not in the game, in the dirt like Ghost was? Or are we going to see that he like old dog, really? He just as dirty as Ghost, and he had been a Papa brother in the heartbeat, just like Ghost and Tommy. And we'll probably meet more of his crew in season 5. I'm going for the second option. I'm thinking he's a gangster just like Ghost and Tommy, and we're going to learn a lot more, and we'll find out that he's going to be most hated over Ghost. He's going to probably take out one of the most popular characters on the show. Courtney Kemp said nobody is safe this season, and that one of the main characters may die. So that's something that we're going to have to see. In the end, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video. Subscribe to my channel if you ain't already subscribed yet. Click the little bell so you get notifications of my video. Make sure you comment, and I'll try to hit you back as much as I can. If not, I'll give you a favorite if I like your comments. And share the video if you think somebody else may enjoy it. Give me a like if you like it, and I'll see you in the next video. The music right here is from, this is the list of the music that's being played. It's from the Passion High Five. Pretty dope artist. I love his instrumentals, nice beats. And check out these other videos right here, and you may enjoy them. You may find something that you didn't know I already made a video about. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.